We didn't really think about 401ks that much. We didn't talk about them because our retirement was the paradise.
A lot of people feel discouraged or kind of behind the times and feel like they should be at a better place financially than they are.
So Sarah Warren, she's an accountant and business expert and owns multiple businesses. And we also have the pleasure of having Joanna Bell. She went back to school after she left the organization and is majoring in accounting. Now, ladies, again, we grew up being told that money and careers weren't a priority in the organization, that Armageddon was always around the corner. So how does that conditioning, that mindset affect us financially after we leave the organization?
The one thing that they took that I think is the most like they stole was our time and our mental energy, because everything was just sucked away. All of your thinking every day was all about the organization, between study, personal study, family study, meetings, service. And the last thing we want to do is think about work and money. That's like our last thing that we want to think about. We want to enjoy our life. A lot of people feel discouraged or kind of behind the times and feel like they should be at a better place financially than they are. And I want to also touch on that building wealth, it's not about money. It's about having a good life in whatever that picture looks like for you. It gives you options and choices. Being broke takes away your choices. It gives you control of your life and security, because that's why a lot of people will go back to the organization, because they don't have any support system out in the world. We have to be our own support system.
If you talk about money in the organization, they judge you as being materialistic. But to your point, having money allows you to have more options. And to me, I believe when you have money or when you build wealth, it's another step to more freedom.
Yeah, I've also noticed just the idea of thinking it's possible. I'm actually picturing myself as someone who is financially stable and that is possible for me. It was just something that was, I just never thought was going to be possible for me. And that's another mindset shift I've noticed in myself, that, and going to school, get feeling more empowered. It's interesting. It's almost a side effect I wasn't prepared for. I wasn't expecting, but I've noticed my own mind, my own thinking is changing, that, oh, this can happen. This isn't just for other people. This can happen for me too.
Now, Joanna, I know you're back in school for accounting right now. Can you tell us a little bit about that decision and why you decided to do it?
As soon as I woke up, that was the first decision I made. I enrolled in school immediately. It was something I wanted to do ever since high school. So as soon as I had the opportunity, I took it. And it's going to take a while. But what I realized is that the time is going to pass anyways. So I can be 6 years older with a degree or 6 years older without a degree. So I really think that's a good mindset to have. But I've also connected with Sarah Warren. She's been a great mentor as well. And it's really changed my thinking on how to view wealth. It's not a selfish decision. There's so many things to learn and how it can benefit yourself, your family, and others. And it's a whole different mindset shift. And that takes some time.
Like going back to school and also learning financial literacy. Like those are two big steps in self-investment. So what a great example. So Sarah, your talk is called Invest in Your Wealth at the free online XJW Professionals Conference on September 12th and 13th. Why is this topic, invest in your wealth, so important specifically for XJWs?
You're investing in yourself. We've never had the opportunity to invest in ourselves. It was always investing into the organization on some level. So this is an investment of time, brain power, learning. And so if you can make yourself better, why wouldn't you?
So Sarah, what is the one thing you want XJWs to know about building financial stability that nobody tells them? And is this something that you're going to cover in our conference this year?
I think if there was one thing, I like everybody to know that your net worth does not equal your self-worth. So money problems can make you feel anxious, guilty, you're ashamed, but your financial circumstances are not who you are as a person or your value as a person. You got to separate your identity and your trauma in the past away from your income. And then you remind yourself that a low bank balance, that's math. That's a math problem. It's not a personal failure. And a lot of times people's emotions will drive their spending. So they feel like spending money will fix a feeling of sadness, boredom, stress, or anything like that. But you got to kind of, separate those two feelings from each other.
So I like that you're making comments on the mindset shift. Will you also be covering more technical considerations? We didn't really think about 401ks that much. We didn't talk about them because our retirement was the paradise.
Yes. So I'm going to talk about that in detail. What kind of things can you do? Starting off small, maybe getting bigger, ways of investing that can create wealth, maybe even a little bit of tax strategy in there. Just kind of covering a little bit of all of it. Absolutely, because you've got to get started. It shifts that mindset to get that inertia going, because you do it a little bit and you see what happens, and then you're like, I like this. This is not as difficult as I thought it was going to be.
The audience will leave feeling more empowered about their relationship with money. So always remember, my friends, to own your story, own your power, and live your truth.